What's up, loves? It's Alley Cat, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to the fam.
It's a beautiful
So every year in January, I always take probably about an hour, maybe more depending on how much of a loophole I get dragged into, and go on Broadway.com, Playbill.com, and look up what the most anticipated shows are for this year, 2020 Broadway season, but you get it, like every year I do this. So I thought I would actually film that for you guys. Now it's not going to be me actually looking up everything. I've already done my research. I've already compiled a list of 10 of the most anticipated Broadway shows this season. So we are obviously in the 2020 Broadway season, or 2020-2021 Broadway season. It's kind of blurry when it comes to this stuff, but you get my point. And when I say most anticipated, like 10 most anticipated, I don't necessarily mean like these are the ones with the highest reviews. I just mean on the 3-4 plus websites I went on, these were the ones that were repeated constantly. So, which I take to mean, okay, there's been a lot of buzz about these. So I'm in no way shaming any of the other shows I did not mention in this video. I'm a lover of all shows. I appreciate and respect all shows. These are just the ones that I saw come up the most in my research. So, that being said, the first one is West Side Story. Now, I might have said this in another video, but I have a thing about revivals. Half the time, that's not true. Most of the time, I think revivals should just stay as they are. I think you revive something once, great, fine, perfect, great. Don't touch it after that, because in my mind, it amazes me how many times people think they can keep bringing something back. And to me, that just shows people are running out of new ideas, personally. But I will say that since I saw the Oklahoma revival performance at the Tonys last year, my mind's been open to them, because I, for the first time in my life, saw a revival of a show that I love re-envisioned in a completely new way. So my mind's open. That being said, West Side Story, we all love this story. That was not a pun. That's just how it came out. But I personally have two reasons that I want to watch this show. And they're both actors in the show. First of all, Oscar Isaac is playing Tony. Or, not Oscar Isaac, that's a totally different actor. Oh, Isaac, what's his last name? He was in... Oh god, I'm so sorry if you ever see this video. Crap, okay, I'm gonna have to look this up. Give me a second. Isaac Powell, that's his name. Isaac Powell plays Tony. I'm a huge fan of his. I know it might not just seem like it because I completely forgot his last name just then, but I really am. He's such a talented actor, and I think he's perfect for Tony. And the other one is Ben Cook, who I have seen him in, he was in the Tour of Newsies. He was recently in Mean Girls on Broadway, and now he plays Riff, I believe, in this revival. And he is so talented. He's an amazing dancer. So besides the story, those two are probably the ones that I'm most interested in seeing about this revival. Again, I think it's going to be interesting to see how they can revive this into something new like they did with Oklahoma. For those of you who want to know, they're currently in previews right now, and their opening night is February 20th at the Broadway Theater. Next is Six. Now, I made a reaction video to the American cast of Six. Or the Broadway cast, whatever, Six. I will put that somewhere here, and I will link it down below as well. I'm obsessed with Six the Musical. If you do not know, Six the Musical is originated in London, and it is about Henry VIII and all his wives. Now, what's different about this is that it's actually like a rock concert musical. Basically, all of the wives are forming a band together, and they're competing to see who's the lead singer. But while they're competing, they're actually also telling the stories of their time with Henry and how they came to each one's demise. And at the end, the audience gets to choose who's the lead singer. I think this is such a cool idea. I think it is so different, so refreshing. I think Broadway needs something like this, and I'm so excited to see it come to the Great White Way. The music is amazing. Seriously, if this interests you at all, go look it up on YouTube. It is incredible. And the music is just, it's great. Go see it. So, previews begin February 13th, and opening night is March 12th at the Brooke Atkinson Theater, for those of you interested. Next is Hangman. Now this is one I never heard of before, but again, one of the ones that kept reoccurring on my research, so I thought, okay, well I need to mention it. So, Hangman is all about the fate of England's second best professional hangman after the abolition of capital punishment. This is happening at the John Golden Theater, and it opens on March 19th. I don't know if that's the day preview start or opening night is. It didn't specify, and I couldn't find anything saying different, just March 19th. One reason to go see the show is Dan Stevens, who, if you don't know who that is, was our favorite person in Downton Abbey, who's, oh my god, name I'm blanking. Frick, you guys. Why does this happen? I get on camera and I just blank. Dan. Matthew Crawley. I knew it was an M. Thank you, Matthew. So that's one reason to go see the show, but also it just sounds very interesting. Now, for a person who doesn't necessarily like dark, tragic plays or shows or films or really anything, I find it interesting that I'm so intrigued by this, but to be fair, I do find myself really intrigued by how serial killers or thieves are naming how their mind works, because I think I'm just fascinating to know how can someone think like that, I guess. So this sounds really intriguing to me. I would love to see it. Hopefully Broadway.com, Theater Mania, etc., they upload some clips of it, because honestly it sounds so cool to me. Next is Company. Now, I know I said I have an open mind about revivals now, and I do. But why? Hasn't Company been revived 50 million times already? Didn't Emma Stone just do a revival of Company a couple years ago? That was a thing, right? This one has been revived to death. I'm pretty sure it has been, because I keep hearing it every 5 years pop up, and enough is enough, people. We all know Company, there's a film about it. Just let it go. It's kind of like the Fast and Furious series. It's great, but it needs to end. Now, the reason I have included this on this list is for one reason and one reason only. The only reason that I would ever go see this show again. Patti LuPone. She is in it. That is enough to make me go see a show. That's enough to make me go see it. Patti LuPone. So if you have different opinions than me and you want to go see Company, previews start March 2nd and it opens March 22nd at the Bernard B. Jacobs Theater. Next is MJ the Musical. Okay. I shouldn't have to explain why this made it on the list. It's Michael Jackson. Of course I'm putting it on this list because MJ is amazing and incredible, and we all love him. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they take this and how they make it. Because there's so many ways you can go with it. There's so many paths you can take with it. Story, from a story perspective, from a plot perspective. Obviously, it's going to include his hits, so that's going to be interesting. But they did it with Motown. That's the thing. They did it with Motown the Musical, and that's so. And they did it with the Temptations. That was the other one I was thinking of. And so I have a pretty good feeling that this will actually do really, really well. They've done it with Tina Turner. They're doing this a lot these days. So I have a pretty good feeling this is going to do really, really well. All I can find out about MJ the Musical is that previews start July 6th at the Neil Simon Theater. They do not have a opening night date yet, but I just thought I'd throw it in there. Previews start July 6th. Also, all of these shows I'm talking about, I will link their affiliate links on Broadway.com down below, so if any of these shows sound interesting to you, just head on down to my information bar and click the link next to the show, and it'll take you to the homepage of the show where lots more information and ticket sales will be. I'm not sponsored by Broadway.com or anything like that. I just figured I might as well link everything down below, because it's easy and it's convenient. Next one is The Music Man. Again, another revival. I just realized how many revivals I put in this list. This is kind of the same as Company. I think they revived The Music Man way too many times. They need to stop. I mean, I get it. It's classic. It's great. But again, just revive it 1 or 2 times and be done with it. But the reason it's on this list is, again, because of the actor who is starring in it, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is an incredible, multi-talented human being who can pretty much do anything, I'm convinced. And I would go see it again, this musical again for him. Even though it's not one of my favorite musicals on the planet, I would go see him in this. I would go, well, I mean, I would honestly go see him if he was just standing like on a stage for 2 hours. Truly, I would. So if you're interested in that, it is playing at the Winter Garden Theaters, and previews begin September 9th. So I couldn't find any like opening night date. I don't think they have one set. It's just previews begin September 9th. And yeah, hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's kind of going to be like Oklahoma, where they re-envision it in a completely different way. Next is Girl from the North County. This was another one that I'd never heard of before, and I kept coming up, so obviously I included it in here. So if anyone wants to know, Girl from the North County is about Depression-era kitchen sink drama set in a boarding house in Dylan's hometown of Duluth, Minnesota. Previews began February 7th. Opening night is March 5th at the Belasco Theater. So I know that description doesn't really say a lot, but it does kind of pique your interest because it doesn't say a lot. So you already have a boarding house, which automatically gets your mind thinking like, okay, a boarding house for what? Is this like school type thing? Is this for people who maybe don't have that much money? And then you also have the first two lines or sentence words, Depression-era kitchen sink drama. That kind of gives a lot of leeway. So already I'm intrigued by the plot of this. And I also went online to look it up on YouTube. This actually started off in London. I think it was off Broadway a couple years ago. But this started off in London, so I was watching this morning a bunch of clips from that production, and oh my god, you guys, the music is incredible. The trailer for it looks amazing. The West End trailer looks amazing. I listened to 2 of the songs that I'm actually blanking out right now, but they were both beautiful. Next is Diana. I am so excited for this. If you know me, you know, or if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm obsessed with all things British. I'm pretty sure I'm turning into one slowly but surely. And I love the royal family. This show it's about Princess Di. I will totally go see it. I don't care if it sucks, I'll totally go see it, because I think there's so much we still don't know about Princess Di. And I think it's going to be so interesting to see what path they go down with, like, story-wise. And it's a musical, too, so God knows how that's going to work out. But I think there's just so much, like, that could go right here, but also so much that could go wrong. So I'm needless to say, like, I'm excited for it. I cannot wait to see those Broadway.com, Playable.com, TheaterMania.com video clips come out. I think it's going to be really good. I have high hopes for this, which is never a good thing to have, but, you know, I have them, they're there, and they're not going anywhere. So, yeah, previews begin March 2nd, and opening night is March 31st. It is at the Longacre Theater. Next is A Soldier's Play. Again, another new one I never heard of, but it kept reoccurring, so I thought, okay, well, might as well mention it. It's in previews currently at the American Airlines Theater, with opening night being January 21st, and it is set in African-American Louisiana Army barracks in 1944, revolving around the murder of a black sergeant. Automatically, I'm intrigued, because I am also very just intrigued by the segregation times and racial movements and things like that, because every time I look into it, I always keep thinking, like, how could people think like this? How could people do this? Like, every single person, you know, yes, every single person is also different, but the color of our skin doesn't matter. Like, why, you know, it's like, why do people care? Why was this such a big issue? I've just always been so intrigued by it. And I'm not a huge history buff, but there are a couple topics that, like, really stand out to me. And this is one of them. Just because I don't understand how people could think like that, how people could treat people like that. It amazes me. So automatically, I'm intrigued with this play. It sounds, not only, it doesn't sound like just another segregation play, but it's on a completely different path here than just, oh, hey, segregation, because this is on a military base. This is in Army barracks. So this opens up a whole other field of how black military people were treated versus white military people. Black soldiers were treated versus white soldiers. Dear God, language is not my friend today. And I think that just opens up a whole new universe to be explored, which is one of the reasons I'm so intrigued by this. I really hope clips are uploaded. I hope maybe when I can get to New York again, I can actually see this play. Again, it's kind of like Diana. I have really high hopes for this play. I think it's a new universe being explored per se, and I think they can do so much with it. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. And the last one is My Name is Lucy Barton. Now, this again was one who I hadn't necessarily heard of, but oddly enough, yesterday on YouTube, a show clip of this had popped up in my feed, and so I clicked it because it is starring one of my favorite actresses, Laura Linney. Now, if you don't know who Laura Linney is, number one, you should. She's amazing. Number two, she was the redhead American in Love Actually, who fell in love and had a kind of fling, kind of not with Carl, you know, the tall, dark-haired, you know, Sex on a Stick guy. Yeah, him. So Laura Linney, amazing actress. A good reason to go see this anyway. But the plot, it's about an author who is scarred by a childhood of poverty and abuse who wakes up in a hospital with her long estranged mother at the foot of her bed, stirring uncomfortable memories. So from this, I take it is a one-woman show, which, that's fine. Love Laura Linney. Would be happy to watch her for 2 hours, or however long the show is. I'm already kind of intrigued. Scarred by childhood memories. Okay, what childhood memories? Like, what happened to her? How did she get in hospital? What hospital is she in? What type of hospital is she in? Like, I'm already having so many questions whirling around my head about why and how and where. And the clip I did watch of this it made me want to see it. It was inviting. It looked so good. That being said, it's already open. It opened January 5th at the Samuel J. Friedman Theater. Like I said, every single show that I just mentioned will be linked down below, so if you want to go click on the affiliate link to go do your own research, have at it, have fun. But that is all I have for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope maybe I've inspired you, especially if you're in New York, to maybe check out some of these shows and go see them. Also, if you have seen any of these shows, whether it's previews or even if you've just read them like I have, or if you've actually seen them, please comment down below and tell me what you thought of them. I would love to hear your opinions and your thoughts. And also, while you're at it, if you found yourself enjoying this video, go ahead and hit that like button and then the subscribe and post notification button to see new videos of me every Wednesday and Saturday. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye!
'Cause it's so beautiful. Hey, 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 hey.